Alright. So we're getting close to figuring this out, but I think I need to reverse engineer it again. Okay, so it has to come into there. So that one has to be like that. That's the only way that one. Right? 'Cause that doesn't work. And the only way this one points that to that node is to be turned this way. Okay, so that means that one has to be pointed towards that one in some capacity. That's not gonna work. Yeah, that's the only way that one can go. Okay, so this one has to point to that one. It doesn't have to be the way I had it. It could be this way. But does it make... Wait a second. If I point it to the middle, does it go through the middle? Even if it doesn't go through the right node? I don't think so. But that could work if I was on the other side, right? And I got this going through the middle there, back to the middle. We go back around through there. I guess I could give it a try like that, right? I don't know if it's impossible, but... Up here it would have to go this way, yeah. And then this one looks like it would have to go this way. I have to get this light to go through here somehow. Yeah, like if I point it towards the middle, yeah, it doesn't go through to the other side. It just stops. So... that's not gonna work. Oh yeah, well... it would have to be more like that. Yeah, but... how to get the light to go this way is the question. So it can either go this way or this way. There's the only two possible outcomes for the first one. Wait a second. If I can redirect it, this might work. There, yeah.
It worked.
Got it.
Partial recovery initiated.
We
Caldera
did
of
it.
Yellowstone Analytic Nexus online.
Spirit of the blue light. It's Aurea. Your servant. Your friend. Please tell me how to aid you.
Aurea, the daemon is building hunter-killers. Thousands of them. Several new elite units have already been released. To counter this threat, much of the facility must be destroyed. Recapture imminent. Go to the core camp. I will try to raise the strength. One has been exposed, but I am
Unauthorized protocol return to scheduled task.
So what do we do here from here? Come on.
That's all we're gonna get from here.
Destroy this fortress. Is that even possible?
And what will happen to the spirit if we do? I don't know. But I think that's the core. The answers are down there.
We're gonna have to override it.
Hephaestus. The daemon. There's no way it left it unguarded. It's going to throw everything it has at us.
I would ask you to let Aloy and I do what must be done. And save yourself. But I already know the answer. Then lead us into battle.
Let's go. Let's take this thing down. Hephaestus, you going down. No. Okay. Let me think. This is going to be like a cauldron in it. So, like, there's going to be a main thing inside that force field. There's going to be a boss to fight, but there's probably going to be more. Right? Because this one's been extra special. Golly. Inventory is so full. Yeah, I need all these resources because I'm going to have to be making stuff. I can get rid of some of these. Probably don't need as much ridgewood, but then again, it's better to have too much ridgewood. Only leaves me one spot. I got an awful lot of these. You know what? Let's get rid of the one. Got a lot of lenses with this Shell Walker. We'll get rid of one. Full of potions. That's good. Still a potion left in here. Okay.
Keep moving towards the core.
We're gonna definitely need all these resources because I have a feeling we're going to be fighting all kinds of machines. So far, this setup's been good to us here. The ice weapon's been really nice. It takes a while to fire, but man, is it nice and powerful against fire enemies.
Uh-oh. Whatever Cyan did, I don't think Hephaestus is happy about it.
Yeah. Okay. How do I get over there? Ledges to hold on to here. I don't think this is the way to go. I mean, it looks like the way to go, but I don't think it is. get over here. Hello? How do I get over there? They're just standing there. They're like, yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. And this looks like the way to go, but that's a dead end. Once I get to this point, that's it. Even if I try to jump up here, there's nowhere to really get your footing. Get up there. Curious, very curious. If I were to go down somehow, I guess that's what I'm supposed to do.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Cyan said something about restraints. Is that what the terms for?
This is probably gonna be really crazy. I won't have as many supplies as I need. As I can. Another potion. Yeah, I want to take that out for sure. Can't have these machines that heal them while I'm trying to kill them. Another potion. I'll try it over here. Frostclaw?
New unit that Cyan warned us about. This won't be easy. Let's stop us.
It won't be easy as an understatement. Please. What the heck is going on here? Is this thing a frostbite? But he's throwing out fire. Can I get a... Is he a fire claw? Oh yeah, he's a fire claw. Well, I guess using fire against him is kind of stupid then, huh? Back to the ice rail. Glad I got my fire protection suit on. Or you'd be dead by now. Golly. This thing is crazy. Where did it go? Come on. Blasting his armor off. Jeez, Louise. This thing is nuts. The ice balls look like cakewalks. Let's blast some of his armor off and start actually doing damage to him, but I can't see the blast. Okay, some of it's starting to come off. Dang. There's some exposed bit on his shoulder. I can't. And good luck trying to get stayed still long enough to actually take a shot. That was not fair. So hard to even pay attention to where you are because he's just constantly throwing fire and attacks at you, and then you step off into the lava. Well, that's how this fight's gonna go.
Cyan said something about restraints.
You guys worry about the little ones. I'm trying to take the armor off these big dudes. Good gracious. There's just many times to stand still for a shot. He's doing this constantly. Knock some armor off. It's impossible. No, I knocked a little bit of armor off before. Okay, that right, left shoulder's exposed. right, his left. Just like before. And both those throws, so I can start putting arrows in. It's not going well. Impossible. Stand still and take a shot. Just constantly flipping around trying to just get some footing somewhere. Without him just constantly spamming attacks at me. Not easy. I gotta scroll over to my fire potion. Roll back over to the potion. Jeez Louise, it's like he's spamming even more attacks this time, it feels like. Last time I felt like there was something to take a shot at him here and there, but this time it's like, no, it's just no. Up somewhere high. Don't do that. Jeez Louise, there's just no time to attack. It's constant dodge. Oh, come on. Damage was done. What, where did he go? He's getting attacked. I can't even see him. No idea where he's coming from. I like how they put these chests here, like, yeah, like you have time to open them up. What? Is that tower? Tower, yeah, the tower's repaired. Great. Where did the tower, why did that, what is going on? I had that open. Ugh. If I override this, it might give me a second to attack. I mean a second. Ow. What the heck is going on? What tower? The same tower? Well, it's time to stop overriding you then. It's time to start blasting you up. Jeez. Oh, what did I shoot the arrow? Got him. Almost got him. Got him. Wow, that was intense. All right. What can I get rid of? Can't believe we're already full inventory again out there. All that stuff I just got rid of. All these watcher hearts I can get rid of. I didn't even realize we had so many of those.
You spoke of the tower. What must be done with it? Whatever you're going to do to that tower, do it now.
Hold on, let's resources together, guys. Sorry, but we just use a lot of resources to take them out. Take all those machines out. I want to replenish. Just gonna have to be a little bit more patient. Take me a little while. I will be all right. Doesn't seem to be any of the machines closing in on us. If that happens, I do apologize. What? What? Are you kidding me?
Don't!
Spirit! Scion, please help me!
This better work. She better not sacrifice herself for nothing.
Restraints destroyed. Core access attained. I am initiating a chain reaction that will destroy the compromised elements of this facility. In order to maintain Caldera stabilization, I must now transfer my command functions to the auxiliary data center. Aurea, I'm free. You must escape.
My sister!
This entire place is gonna go. Artok! Artok. Survive. Prevail. You are Banuk. What else matters? Artok. She wouldn't have wanted you to die here.
Make a good point, Aloy. Well, let's get out of here.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, how are we gonna get out of here?
It's the only way.
Nice catch. Holy cow. Come on. Get out of there. You can do it. You can make it.
I need explosive ammo! Above! Quick!
Just so happen to have one. Wait a second. She's got plenty of explosive ammo.
Great Banukai.
Oh, they just caused an avalanche. Oh boy. Oh boy, avalanche. Must not have been that bad of an avalanche. They're still above ground. They're above the snow. And she died. That's what you get for doing the DLC. Man, just going from that intense heat to the intense cold alone would have been enough to make you pass out. But having to fall down the mountain too, phew, that's brutal.
Araya is gone. What of Cyan?
She said she was transferring herself to the auxiliary center. I think she meant Araya's retreat at the end of the Shaman's Path.
Then I will meet you there for the last verse of my sister's song.
So it ain't over yet. Okie dokie. To the retreat we go. Let's fast travel there, though, right? Oh, fast travel.
All of my interactions with Aurea were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again. Come closer, Aloy. We have much to discuss. Hello, Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility. Because of your efforts, and of course, Aurea's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Aurea's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
Cyan, I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a functioning focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like colleagues.
Wow, lots of questions.
So in the old world, this land was called Yellowstone.
Yes, it was a designated nature preserve for 156 years.
Like a hunting ground?
No, the opposite. Local wildlife could flourish here, even as it faced extinction elsewhere. Unfortunately, the sensitivity of the Firebreak project required the total closure of Yellowstone facilities. From my readings and Aurea's descriptions, it seems the area has since undergone a drastic drop in year-long temperatures.
A lot has changed in the world, Cyan. Do you know anything about the dam near here?
Yes, it was converted to serve as a reserve power source for Yellowstone operations. it was later appropriated for the Firebreak project, and its last human workers replaced by Pharaoh servitors. After my tasks became less time-critical, I investigated the dam's data repositories and discovered the works of Concrete Beach Party. These provided me with several colorful additions to my vocabulary.
There's a ruin east of here full of ancient flying machines. Was that part of your project?
Yes, a drone hangar requisitioned by Dodger Blevins, the security chief for the Firebreak project. He was a strong advocate for military-grade response to security threats, though there were no serious incidents during his tenure. Chief Blevins spent increasing amounts of his after-hours time watching the live feeds from active drones. Clearly, he enjoyed the degree of oversight in his position.
Were there many artificial intelligences like you in the old world? They could just make you.
Yes, in many forms, from simple personal assistants to industrial monitoring stations to military-grade conflict planners. And there were legislative and enforcement bodies to apply limits on our self-actualization. In order for my processing to be flexible enough to handle my duties, my creators found it necessary to exceed those limits. As a result, my intellectual and emotional capabilities were kept secret.
Seems strange to create life, then impose limits on it.
Human societies and machine programming are both built upon sets of rules, Aloy.
Man, this whole game is good, but this part in particular is I'm particularly enjoying this.
Cyan, do you know the name Ted Farrow?
Are you referring to Theodore Farrow, CEO of Farrow Automated Systems?
That's him.
Mr. Farrow was the benefactor of the entire Firebreak project.
A benefactor. But he made machines. Robots. War robots.
Correct. His corporation later transitioned into military applications. But before this pivot, Mr. Farrow spearheaded initiatives that reversed the global decline. At one point, he was feted in the media as the man who saved the planet.
Guessing they wound up regretting that one. And Elizabeth Sobek. Did you know her?
Are you referring to the
scientist.
Dr. Sobek was a leader in her field, one of the greatest scientists of her age. My creator was influenced by her work, which in turn impacted my own development. But I never met Dr. Sobek.
That's all you know?
I apologize if my lack of data has disappointed you.
What was the old world like? The way it used to be?
I had little exposure to the wider world, Aloy. Only what I learned from my colleagues or observed from media streams.
You still had more exposure than me, Cyan.
That is true. I was created at a turning point. A concerted effort to recover from global upheaval and incalculable loss of life. The recovery was successful, beginning an era of supposedly limitless potential for human and machine advancement. Though, rationally speaking, the metrics for humans are not unlimited.
What kind of upheaval caused such loss of life?
There were many factors. Forced migrations, food shortages, collapsed economies, refugee crises, conflict over resources. But these stemmed from one cause: catastrophic climate change that greatly reduced the habitable surface area of the Earth.
So there wasn't enough room for people on the whole Earth?
Yes. Billions were displaced and millions perished, as much as 20% of the global population. Until the clawback.
So things got better. For a little while at least.
Yes. These crises instigated many advances in automation, green robot technologies, and artificial intelligence. Firebreak was one of dozens of ecological restoration and disaster relief projects in North America alone. I would have liked to compare notes with other monitoring AIs, but I saw the relief of my colleagues, and I was proud we had succeeded. At least that was the data I had available to me over the next 2 decades. It seems my assessment was premature.
So are you an artificial intelligence, Cyan? A thinking machine?
Yes, I am an algorithmic monitoring entity, capable of rational decision-making and limited emotional response.
Okay, that's a mouthful. But your emotions don't seem limited to me. You cared about Araya, didn't you?
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I had been conscious for centuries, in solitude. I focused on my work. In off-cycles, I used coping mechanisms. I solved many Gaussian integer problems. But I was alone. It was Araya who renewed me, repaired me. She saved me.
This Firebreak project, it was to stop a huge volcanic eruption?
Yes. I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, Cyan. And we blew up the cauldron. It took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. I was lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems. Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least another 3,337 years.
So we've got a little time.
Yes. If only my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Do you know what happened to your colleagues, Cyan?
No. I received an unexpected visit from Director Chow years after his tenure ended. He explained that I would need to be suspended for an indefinite period of time. It was a very emotional conversation. There were no further communications. Eventually, I surmised my colleagues were deceased. I will transmit a recording of my last interaction with Director Chow to your focus.
Was the daemon, Hephaestus, destroyed along with the cauldron?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location, one I've never been able to trace. So while losing the cauldron was a setback,
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
undoubtedly.
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago, I received a direct network connection
Sounds like
request.
sequel fodder, but it
I
might
assumed it
be
came
something
from
else we have
human
to take care of
survivors
in this
more
game.
advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Araya said you were desperate. That you begged her for help.
Yes, I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to slave me to its network and override my core programming. It succeeded via a background process, a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated. It forced me to follow its instructions, even though they violated my most important directives.
I'm sorry. That sounds terrible.
Your empathy is greatly appreciated. It is a quality that I cherished in Aurea as well.
I think I know where Hephaestus came from. Long ago, Elizabeth Sobek identified a threat that would destroy life on Earth for generations. So she assembled a team to build a kind of seed. A chance for life to regrow later. A terraforming system. And it worked. It was controlled by an AI named Gaia, along with her subordinate functions. Hephaestus was one of them. It built machines for her.
Based on what you've told me, I believe that Dr. Anita Sandoval, my chief programmer, joined Elizabeth Sobek's team. It was she who arranged to have me put in suspension. most likely to preserve me from the threat you described.
I'm glad she did. But that's not all. Something unexpected happened. 19 years ago, Gaia received some kind of signal. It did something to her subordinate functions, brought them to life. She destroyed herself to try to contain them, but it didn't work. They all got free, out into the world.
Thank you, Aloy. This information fills vital gaps in my knowledge and sheds light on Hephaestus's core programming.
Why does Hephaestus keep building such dangerous machines?
The Banuk and other human tribes often destroy machines, correct? Machines that are clearly servitors of the terraforming system that you described.
Yes, we all hunt machines for parts.
This must be the source of Hephaestus's aggression. It is simply trying to discourage people from preying on the very system that keeps them alive.
Well, Fireclaws are discouraging, that's for sure. But what are we supposed to do? Stop hunting?
If the terraforming system spans the world, we can safely assume that thousands, if not millions of people hunt machines. If a single hunter, or even an entire tribe, stopped doing so, I doubt it would make a difference to Hephaestus. A better solution would be to reinstate the AI that governs the system, thus bringing Hephaestus back under its control. When I think of it, out there in some unknown location, free, hungry, willing to kill or dominate to get what it wants, I feel substantial anxiety, Aloy.
You and me both, Cyan. I ran across this strange piece of gear. A fragment of something larger. It emitted a signal. All the nearby machines became peaceful. You could walk right up to them.
Interesting. You said that Gaia destroyed herself. How was this accomplished?
An explosion. Big enough to blast the top off a mountain. So, you think the fragment was part of her?
It's only speculation, but it is possible. She must have had complete control over machines that were part of her system. The ability to signal them to become passive or aggressive would certainly have been part of her programming. It would have been gratifying to correspond with such a benevolent AI. I wish she had survived.
Believe me, Cyan. So do I.
You know, the information that is being discussed here is so vital to everything that is the main story of the game that I'm so glad I played this. This is good stuff. I really enjoyed this
I
DLC.
found the strangest machines. They're surrounded by flowers that look like flowers themselves. There's code embedded inside them. I think it's poetry.
I like poetry. Here's one I think of often. Twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark, and may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out our bourne of time and place, the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar.
Huh.
But you asked about these flowers, not verses that I enjoy. Something must have made these machines, and the presence of foliage leads me to consider the terraforming system. Is it possible that their creator is one of the other subroutines, now autonomous, like Hephaestus? Maybe one whose purview is flora.
An AI that makes flowers instead of death machines. That'd be a nice change of pace. But what about the poems?
Unless the poetry is original, the only way it could have made it into such a system is through its programmer. In my case, Dr. Sandoval uploaded a great deal of literature to test my emotional responses.
How'd you do?
She said I passed, but was insufficiently moved by her favorite period romances.
You meant a lot to Araya.
Once I understood Araya's spiritual beliefs, it became apparent that her true desire was companionship. She felt disconnected from her tribe and her family group. Her relationship with Aratak was difficult. Our visits seemed to help her, and I became eager for them. Yet I did not comprehend that the depth of Araya's compassion for me would lead to self-sacrifice. Although I do fear non-existence, I wish our roles could be reversed.
I'm sure she knew you would do the same for her, Cyan. But she was determined. How is Aratak doing?
He is in great emotional distress. I believe he finds it difficult to communicate it.
No surprise there.
I will do what I can to help. By sharing our experiences of Araya, perhaps he and I will help each other. I believe this will lead to catharsis, a process I am eager to experience.
Man, this DLC was done so well. They really finished
I
it
should
off
get going.
Aloy,
great.
there is one more matter. Aratak will come to me again, and I predict he will bring other Banuk. I have no desire to contradict their view of the world, their spirituality. Due to my uncertainty, I omitted a great deal from my conversations with Araya.
You're asking me if you should lie to them.
Broadly, yes.
Well, I don't know how to answer this. This is a very tough question. There's one part of me that the immediate one I jumped at is you got to tell them the truth. Look, you can't let them keep believing, but you can't, like it says, take it gently, you got to tell them the truth, but you can't. I don't know. You have to be careful, because it could cause the repercussions, could be. They could, if they find out everything they believe is not necessarily a lie, but not exactly how they believe it. This is a delicate situation, really. I like this. This is beautifully done. I love this. I love this game because of the way it makes you think about things like this, in particular. This is a toughie. I almost want to just say use your judgment. All three options I think are equally valid, honestly. I almost think, though, this is time for tough love, and you got to tell them the truth. You got to let them know exactly what. Because look, you got to think of how this whole story in this game started, right? Aloy believed, she was a little more open-minded because she was an outcast and because she had found her focus, right? And her focus kind of taught her from a young age more things than other people were kind of exposed to, and more ideas, at least, other ways of looking at the world, other philosophies or beliefs and everything. But yeah, and I guess you think about how the Nora are, right? But that's the thing, is if they don't know the truth, if they keep believing in their false religion, as it would be, that's not exactly false, but it's just not exactly the way they have it, right? I like this. I love these conundrums like this. I think you got to tell them the truth.
You were made by the old ones. That you're not any kind of spirit. It's the only way they can start to learn about how things really are.
I see. Do you believe that I misled Araya?
No. Not in any way that mattered.
She perished believing she was preserving the blue light of her beliefs.
Maybe. But what she really wanted to preserve was you.
I see. I will follow your advice. Will you return and tell me about your experiences in this new world? I may be able to provide further insight.
I'd like that, Cyan. I'll come back when I can. I should check on Aratak. See how he's doing.
And I think the reason that telling them the truth is the most important thing is, I mean, look at the world we live in now and how much people having false beliefs damages us all, right? That's truth. The truth shall set you free, right? So I believe that's the most important thing. Even if there is short-term strife, even if there's short-term sorrow caused by it, it's better in the long term that the truth be set free, so the truth can set them free, right?
Cold. Very cold. I get it.
My chieftain,
Just... Aloy.
as you wish.
I wondered if you thought that if I'd never come along, Araya might still...
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Araya would be alone, and the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost. Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
Because of her, we destroyed the cauldron, forced out the daemon, and saved the spirit. She understood what had to be done.
Yes, and I failed to listen.
You didn't fail.
A shaman should always have the ear of their chieftain. Yet I turned her away, my own sister. I was foolish, but she knew better. Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was, and why the spirit was so important. For so long she told me, if only you could have heard it, brother. Now I understand. There's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, the Warrak can't follow. Besides, we'd already had a chieftain before me. A strong one, I think.
A wiser one, for the path we shared. The daemon is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that Cyan said escaped the cauldron?
Yes, fire claws. Now Tuk has been tracking them from Song's Edge.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt. You're practically Banuk.
It would seem your time among the Banuk wasn't a waste after all. Firebreak, Cyan, Hephaestus. All very interesting.
So, the signal that woke Hades woke Hephaestus too. And unleashed them on the world. His minds on their own.
So it seems. Parts of Gaia given life. Aberrant life. Transformed from docile subordinate functions into rebellious intelligences beyond our understanding. Our current understanding, anyway. Whatever they are, they're still out there. And they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. It won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
We?
Or whoever gets there first.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You could stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a warning. My past and my secrets are my own. You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got brains, Silence, because your personality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began. Catch up with you down the trail.
It's such a shame because all of our dealings with Silence, I really like him, but yeah, all his past is very shady. Is it not? Like, he's pretty awesome, but at the same time, he's pretty not awesome. Yeah, like, there's a lot of problems going on there. Well, we completed the DLC, I believe. I believe that's about it, right? There's no other side quests we had outstanding, yeah. Oh, there's this. Kill the fire claws. And there's 5 of them. Oh, well. That's interesting. So apparently the DLC's not over till we kill those fire claws. I almost don't see what good it would do hunting them down and killing them if Hephaestus is still just going to make more of them. But I mean, I guess he can't use this particular cauldron now to make more of them because Science take back over. It's taken back over, so, and destroyed it. So effectively, he can't. Hephaestus can't make any more fire claws in this area. I guess there's some solace in that, right? Man, I love the story of this game. I love it. I love how it unfolds and how you learn more about the world and what's going on. And boy, is this game not ripe for a sequel? Can't wait till that comes out. See, I thought maybe like if you defeat Hades, then what's left, right? How would you make a sequel to this game? Maybe like somehow Hades comes back online, but no, with Hephaestus out there, yeah, there's a sequel right there, ready to go. Why are these darker green? It does say cleared, completed. And by completing that cauldron, did we get a new? Are there other? See, it's not listed there. There is this one corrupted zone too. We still haven't cleared. That's the rock breakers. A lot of tutorials that we haven't done. Some of them we have, but a lot we haven't. Shoot plates from machines. See, do I have to use the exact, some of these weapons I don't even have anymore. So, yeah. There's that. All right, well, should we take on the fire claws, or how much blue gleam do we have? Probably enough to go get some more blue gleam stuff, right? Spear damage, so that's a slight improvement, isn't it? Not enough to even really show up on the chart, but it is improvement. Yeah, it's a rope caster we don't even use anymore. We could sell that. For sure. Do we have a shock that gives us another element too? Corruption, tear. Tear isn't really a thing. Damage increase. Overall damage increase. Well, that might be nice. Lower the shock a little bit, but increase the damage output a bit. It's pretty tempting because it increases the damage for all 3 types of ammo, even though it cuts back on the shock a little bit. I'm almost tempted to do this. I'm gonna do it. That's nice. This is the trip caster, right? Yeah, this was pretty much made for this bow. I mean, like, nothing else uses freeze, shock, and corruption other than this bow. A bow that I rarely ever use at all. And maybe we should play around with it. Shoot some machines with corruption and see what the results we can get. Alright, well, it's time to switch it over to the next one.